students, we are here in the 14th District Court of Appeals in downtown Houston. This is a beautiful and historic building that was built in 1910 and renovated 100 years later in 2011. And there are two courtrooms upstairs on the second level that we will see a little bit later that are 2 stories high and among the largest courtrooms in the country. The U.S. court system was established and laid out in Article 3 of the U.S. Constitution. Look at the chart on page 8 of your textbooks, which will help you understand how the court system is set up. Also, be sure to look at the PowerPoint outline for Chapter 1, which lays out the court system. This is the basic structure. There are independent state court systems in every state, plus in the District of Columbia, in the military, and in the U.S. territories. Secondly, there is a federal and a state court. Both federal and state court systems have 3 levels. The first level are the trial courts. These are known as district courts, either in state or in the federal system. The second level in both systems are the appellate courts, the appeals courts. In the federal system, these are known as the circuit courts. This is a state appellate courthouse here. The third level is the Supreme Court. At the federal level, the U.S. Supreme Court. At the state level, the state Supreme Courts. The U.S. Supreme Court is the supreme law of the land. It determines the constitutionality of federal and state laws. The U.S. Supreme Court can review and uphold or overturn state laws and state Supreme Court rulings. Important First Amendment decisions are decided by the U.S. Supreme Court every year. This year, the U.S. Supreme Court issued decisions on several cases that are important to us in our study of communications law. One of these is ABC v. Aereo, in which the court was asked to decide whether it is lawful for an internet startup company to capture and stream broadcast television signals to subscribers. That's what Aereo did, and ABC sued them. This decision, which was issued in June, is sure to have a major impact on both the broadcast and the internet industries, and in particular, startup companies with new technologies. In Riley v. California, the court was asked to decide whether the police need warrants to search the cell phones of people that they arrest. The courts have long allowed warrantless searches when people are arrested. But in 2012, several justices suggested that the era of big data technology may require a new approach to these privacy rights, and we'll discuss that later on in the semester. In June, the U.S. Supreme Court agreed to hear in its next term a case deciding whether violent images and threatening language posted on Facebook and other social media constitutes a true threat to others, or whether these rants are protected forms of speech. That case will probably be heard this fall when the U.S. Supreme Court resumes in October. 4 years ago, the U.S. Supreme Court handed down a landmark decision in the case of Citizens United versus the Federal Elections Commission, which had a major impact on the way that our political campaigns are funded and financed. The court, for the first time in that case, ruled that corporations have the same right of free speech as persons under the First Amendment, and that giving money to political campaigns is the same thing, is equal to speech, and is therefore protected. This year, the court heard another campaign finance case and struck down yet another limitation on campaign contributions, and we'll be talking about that in Chapter Last year, the Supreme Court, in another very important case, struck down portions of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And we will also be talking about that very important case in Chapter 2, which has important implications for the First Amendment, from the First Amendment. Voting is a fundamental free speech right and a fundamental form of communication in a democratic society. So that was a very important decision. You are expected to read the Constitution in the first week of this course. Be sure to pay attention to the many amendments that guarantee the right to vote. These amendments include the 14th, the 15th, the 19th, the 24th, and the 26th. And now we're going to go up to the second floor and meet with Judge Sharon McCallum.